Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today is Monday. It is 10th of November. It, it is the Keshava Masa or Margasesha Masa, Krishna Paksham, Sashti Tithi. There are no Vaishnava events in the calendar today. We shall move into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, so Vidra is inquiring from Maitreya Muni, so keeping so many questions in front of Maitreya Muni to speak. In the last question, he was asking about the constitutional position of the living entity and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and what is the different kinds of the knowledge, and what is the benefits of Guru Shishya having the spiritual master, and mm, so what is the ultimate benefit of having that relationship? Likewise, you are asking so many questions. So Purushasya cha samstaram swarupam va parasya cha jnanam cha naigamam yattad Guru Shishya prayojanam. Okay, so he wanted to know everything. So yes, putting so many questions. And also today, further, he is asking about our great sages and the rishis. They have compiled all the Vedic injunctions without any tinge of material motivations. Without any material motivations. It is completely for the sake of well-being of entire uh, living beings. Without taking the help of such kind of rishis and the Guru Shishya Parampara, the bona fide spiritual succession, how can anyone would attain the perfection of human life? How can anyone get that love, um, that devotional service and also the knowledge and the love of Godhead? Likewise, uh, Vidra is putting a statement here. So just kind of a question and also a giving the message, glorifying the bona fide spiritual master and the spiritual succession. Okay, we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, chapter 7, verse number 39. निमित्तानि च तस्येह प्रोक्तानि अनगसूरिभिः स्वतो ध्यानं कुतः पुंसं भक्तिवैराग्यम् एव वा निमित्तानि च तस्येह nimittani the source of knowledge cha also tasya iha of such knowledge in this world nimittani cha tasyeha Proktani Anagasuribihi. Proktani is the, it was mentioned by Anagasuribihi, the spotless devotees. Nimittani Chatasyeha Proktani Anagasuribihi. The spotless devotees, they have given this, all the knowledge, Vedic injunctions, like Vyasadeva and Valmiki and so many other rishis, Parashara Muni, Narada Muni, likewise, all they have given, which is spotless. Spotless devotees, they gave the spotless Vedic injunctions. Nimittancha tasyeha proktani anagasuribihi. Swatodjnanam kutaha pumsam. Swataha, and then self-sufficient. Swataha, jnanam, knowledge. Kutaha pumsam. Kutaha pumsam. Pumsam is of the living entity. Kutaha, how they would. Bhakti vairagyam evacha. Bhakti vairagyam evava. How do they get this bhakti and vairagyam without the help of those spotless devotees? Okay, likewise, Vidra is inquiring, Swato Swato jnanam kutaha pumsam bhakti vairagyam evava. How can they will progress in the spiritual life without the help of a bona fide spiritual master? Okay, so nimittani cha tasyeha prokthani anagasuribihi Swato kutaha pumsam bhakti vairagyam evava. The translation for this shloka. Spotless devotees of the Lord have mentioned the source of such knowledge. How could one have knowledge of devotional service and detachment without the help of such devotees? Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Can I request Gauringi Mataji to read the purport, please?
Hare Krishna. There are many experienced person who uh, advocate self-realization without the help of a spiritual master. They declare the necessity of the spiritual master and try themselves to take his place by propagating the theory that a spiritual master is not necessary. Srimad Bhagavatam, however, does not approve this viewpoint. Even the great transcendental scholar Vyasadeva had need of a spiritual master, and under the instruction of his spiritual master, Narada, he prepared this sublime uh, literature, Srimad Bhagavatam. Even Lord Chaitanya, although he is a Krishna himself, accepted a spiritual master. Even Lord Krishna accepted a spiritual master, Sandipani Muni, in order to be um, illegitimate and all the accolades and scientists of the world had spiritual masters. In Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna accepted Lord Krishna as his spiritual master, although there was no necessity of such a formal declaration. So, in all cases, there is no question about the necessity of accepting a spiritual master. The only stipulation is that the spiritual master should be bona fide, i.e., the spiritual master must be in the proper chain of discipline, uh, disciplic success, succession called the um, parampara system. Suris are great scholars, but they may not always be anaga or sporilis. The anaga suri is one who is a pure devotee of the Lord. Those who are not pure devotees of the Lord or who want to be on an equal level with him are not Anaga Suri. Pure devotees have prepared many books of knowledges on the basis of uh, authorized spirit, scriptures. Srila Rupa Goswami and his assistants under the instruction of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu have all written various literatures for the guidance of prospective devotees, and anyone who is very serious about raising himself to the standard of a pure devotee of the Lord must take advantage of those literatures. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Sorry, Prabhuji,
Srila Prabhupada ki
I
jai.
did mistakenly. Sorry.
Thank you, Mataji. You did very nicely. Thank you so much. So in this purport, Srila Prabhupada is describing a bit insight onto this. Without the help of the devotees, pure devotees of the Lord, how can anyone have knowledge of devotional service and detachment? Okay, so this is very beautiful question. Sometimes some may be having, why should I need to go and take initiation from particular guru? So I think I can be on my own. I can take the knowledge, I can be on my own. So this is some devotees, they will come with the kind of a particular kind of motive. But because as long as there is a personal reservation, they can go up to some extent, but they cannot enter into the deeper pastimes of the Lord. Okay, so here one should not have any personal reservation. So here, so many inexperienced persons who advocate self-realization without the help of a spiritual master, who advocate self-realization without the help of spiritual master. So this is not possible at all. So all our scriptures, Vedic injunctions, anywhere we see there is a spiritual master. So here Prabhupada is giving number of examples of it. And all our Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita also mentions spiritual master is a must. And here the only stipulation is that he must be a bona fide spiritual master. Whether he is coming, his spiritual master he is a bona fide, and that line is correctly connected to Krishna or not. That must be very, very important. So here they decree the necessity of the spiritual master and try themselves to take his place by propagating the theory that a spiritual master is not necessary. So sometimes they will read some Bhagavad Gita and then they understand something in their own way, mental concoctions, understand that, okay, let me meditate on the Lord. I'm doing every day my bhakti to Krishna. In such a way, they will be isolated. And it is a kind of a, they decree the necessity of the spiritual master. We have seen so many people like that. And they think that I know Krishna and I know Ram, I know Bhagavad Gita, I know the Vedic injunctions. So I know what needs to be done. So and then I sit meditate every day morning, sit meditate and then do worship. And then they don't take any help of spiritual masters who is coming in the bona fide spiritual succession. They are isolated. Okay, so if such kind of thing that philosophy is there, many people will again, it is smaller cottage industries. They will put their own theories. So it would not be connected to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Srimad Bhagavatam, however, does not approve this viewpoint. Even the great transcendental scholar Vyasadeva had need of a spiritual master. And under the instruction of his spiritual master Narada, he prepared this sublime literature, Srimad Bhagavatam. So before the Srimad Bhagavatam was compiled, Vyasadeva, he is he himself is the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. His birth ततः सत्यस्यातः सत्यवत्यं पराशरात् चक्रे वेतरोः स्याक दृष्ट्वा पुंसो अल्पमेधसः the 17th incarnation Saptadashojjataha and he was born to Parashara Muni and Satyavati. So as soon as he was born and then he immediately grown up and then he went to the meditation and the uh, towards the Himalaya mountains. So that was the Vyasadeva position. And then as soon as Satyavati remembers Vyasadeva, he would appear in front of Satyavati Devi. And Parashara Muni, he is the great devotee of the Lord again. So Vyasadeva has, such Vyasadeva, even the Supreme Personality of God, incarnational Supreme Personality of Godhead. And in his meditation, he has seen people of this material world. There are less energy in the age of Kali Yuga, especially. They are less living. Prayen alpashiha sabhya kalavasmin yuge janaha mandaha sumandamantayo mandabhagya upadritaha. He has seen less living people and misguided and misfortune, likewise so many other things. And then he has compiled so many of these literatures. Mahabharata, Sarvardha Paribrahmitam. It is Adbhutam. Narad Muni glorifies the Mahabharata as Adbhutam and Sarvardha Paribrahmitam. But it is for what? Stri Sudra Dvijabandhunam. And later on, Narad Muni criticizes Vyasadeva. You have done very good thing giving this one to everyone, but you did not describe the pastimes of the Lord completely, just only for the sake of the Paramahamsas, and to um, and then when the Lord is not pleased with such kind of literatures that is complied, then it is a Tadvaisiddham. Vaisiddham is a place of crows. They took pleasure in the filthy places. So likewise, these statements are spoken by Narada Muni to Vyasadeva. Later on, once he has enlightened that, now, O Narada, O Vyasadeva, now you compile a scripture which describes the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his devotees only. Then you will be completely satisfied. So even though Vyasadeva has compiled, he was not satisfied. Kimva Bhagavata Dharma na prayar nirupitaha priyaha paramhamsanam Tayevi Achyuta Priyaha. That literature which should be very dear to the Paramhamsas and Krishna. Did I not compile that one? Because of that, I am feeling this kind of insufficiency in my heart. I'm not. So likewise, when he was thinking, at that time Narada Muni came, and then and then he has enlightened him. You compile this one, and then he supported that his intentions. And then later on, he has compiled Srimad Bhagavatam. And then when he was before he is compiling, and again he went into the meditation. That meditation is bhakti yoge manasi samyak pranihite amale apasyat purusham purna mayam cha tadapashriyam. And yasyam vaishuriyamayanam krishne param purushe bhaktirutpadyate pumsaha shoka moha bhayapaha. And once whoever hears that Yasyam Mayanam, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam itself, Krishna Param Purushe, about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, Bhaktirutpadyate Pumsaha, the bhakti it will produce from the heart. Bhaktirutpadyate Pumsaha, Shoka Moha Bhayapaha. It would remove Shoka lamentation, Moha illusion, and Bhayapaha. Bhaya is the fearfulness. It will remove all these kinds of things. One has to give oral reception to Srimad Bhagavatam. Such kind of literature was compiled when Vyasadeva has accepted Narada Muni as his spiritual master and then engaged himself in meditation, but with the bhakti. Okay, so that is how this is Anudhaupamam Sakshad Bhakti Yogam Adhokshaje. Lokasya Ajanato Vidvan Chakre Satpata Samhitam. And Vyasdev has seen these material people in this material world. They're always Lokasya Ajanato Vidvan. Ajanato Vidvan. They do not know what is to be done, what is not to be done. And this Srimad Bhagavatam, Anadhopasamam Sakshad Bhakti Yogam Adhokshaje. Ante the personification of this bhakti. So, this is Chakre Satpata Samhitam. This Bhagavatam is Satpata Samhita. Okay, so that is how Vyasadeva has compiled Srimad Bhagavatam. The glories of, that's why it is called ripened fruit. Nigama kalpa tarur ghalitam phalam sukhamukad amrita dhrava samvitam pevada bhagavatam rasamalayam muhuraho rasika bhui bhavukaha. So this is Srimad Bhagavatam. And here about the spiritual master coming here, the Lord Chaitanya, although he is Krishna himself, accepted spiritual master. Even Lord Krishna accepted spiritual master Sandipani Muni. Okay, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's spiritual master is Ishwarapuri. His spiritual master is Madhavendrapuri. Okay, so the Madhavendrapuri again, his spiritual master is, I think, Lakshmi Pati, and his spiritual master again coming in the Brahma Madhvacharya's lineage. And then Krishna also accepted Sandipam in order to enlighten. But by the time itself, Krishna knows all kinds of knowledge. He doesn't need to have spiritual master, but still he accepted it. Okay, and here, and also all the acharyas and saints of the world had spiritual masters. So this is evam parampara praptum imam rajasyo viduhu. This is evam parampara praptum, parampara, one after another, and a bona fide spiritual succession. They are giving a ripened fruit. If it straight away falls from the ground, it will fall, and then it will be not useful to anyone if it is mixing with the soil. And what that ripened fruit, so Krishna giving to Brahma, Brahma is giving to um, Narada Muni, Narada Muni gave to Vyasadeva, just hands, just move, giving hand to hand, so that the fruit, it will come as it is without spoiling, without damage. Okay, that is evam parampara praptam. This Vedic knowledge is coming in the bona fide spiritual succession. And in the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna accepted Lord Krishna as his spiritual master, although there was no necessity of such formal declaration. So here, Shishyasteham Shadhimam Tvam Prapannam, and Arjuna, he has accepted Krishna as spiritual master, even though he is a friend of Krishna. But here, but Arjuna was fall into the illusion. He was fall into the illusion. That is the condition of a living entity. Whereas the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Achyuta, he will never ever fall down. Okay, so this is, and because he has surrendered himself to Krishna, later he was able to receive that knowledge, transcendental knowledge. So in all cases, there is no question about the necessity of accepting a spiritual master. So it is a must. Tadvijnanardham sagurumeva abhigachet. So one has to approach the spiritual master. Tadvijnanardham sagurumeva abhigachet. And only the stipulation is that the spiritual master should be bona fide. But sometimes, if we observe in India, so many spiritual masters sprout from somewhere, which is kind of showing some magics or some kind of mystic powers, something like that. But that is not a spiritual masters. That is not related to spiritual master come in a disciplic succession with bhakti, jnana, bhakti, vairagya. So these are all. This is called nivritti dharma. Once we give up these material things, then only you will get the higher things, the higher taste. So, but spiritual master being the proper chain of disciplic succession, that is called parampara system. Evam parampara praptum imam rajashyo viduhu. And then further Prabhupada is describing about the Suris or the great scholars, but they may not always be anagha or spotless. Some people they might have composed so many of literatures, so many literatures. It is unless they are a pure devotee, unless they are a pure devotee, it is not possible for them to give this pure devotion to his disciples. Anagasuri is one who is pure devotee of the Lord. Those who are not pure devotees of the Lord or who want to be equal on the level with him are not Anagasuri. In the one of the statements of Dhruv Maharaj, Bhakti Muhu Pravatam Tvaime Prasango Bhuya Dhananta Mahatam Amalasayanam. They're completely pure. Amalasayanam. Ye Ranjasolabhanam Guru Vyasanam Bhavabhim. Nyese Bhadguna Katamrita Panamattaha. So Yena Anjasa Vulbhanam Guru Vyasanam Bhavabhim. This material essence is very difficult to cross. But when I am associating with the devotees of the Lord, who are they? They're Mahatam Amala Sayanam. Then se bhavat guna katha amrita panamattaha. By hearing a Krishna katha from them, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam like that, I can cross this material science very easily. So there he also mentioned Sauganjalubdha Hridayeshu Kruta Prasangaha. Sauganjalubdha Hridayeshu. Sauganjalud. There, the heart of the devotees of the Lord, it is Sauganjalubdha Hridayeshu Kruta Prasangaha. It is so beautiful, it is described. So that's why Ye to abhinam bhavadiya padharavinda. Ye to abhinam bhavadiya padharavinda Sauganjalubdha Hridayeshu Kruta Prasangaha. So approach such kind of devotees. Sauganja Lubdha Hridayeshu Kruta Prasanga. Their heart is always blossoming with the devotion. All the time it is coming devotion, love and love of Godhead. Sauganja. Okay, they are the pure devotees. So pure devotees have prepared many books of knowledge on the basis of authorized scriptures. Srila Rupa Goswami and his assistants, under the instruction of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, have all written various literatures for the guidance of prospective devotees. And anyone who is very serious about raising himself to the standard of a pure devotee of the Lord must take advantage of those literatures. So these books are just, what are these books like? Hari Bhakti Vilasa, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Nectar of Instruction, Upadeshamrita. So these are all we could see in the beginning itself in the Veda base. If we go here, most of the books have been compiled by our acharyas. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Nectar of Instruction, and Krishna book by Srila Prabhupada, the Nectar of Devotion, Ishopanishad, Science of Self-Realization, Beyond Birth and Death, Bhakti, Brahma Samhita, Civilization and Transcendence. So many books. One has to take advantage of these books. Likewise, here Prabhupada is describing here. Okay, one must take advantage of those literatures. And apart from here, yes, there are so many other literatures again. There are much Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Lagu Bhagavatamrita, and so many other things. Even to count that one, our life is not sufficient. Okay, such kind of literatures we have got. But here, whether they are coming in the bona fide spiritual succession, that is very important to assess. Okay, likewise, nimittani cha tasyeha prokthani anagasuribihi sutodnanam kutaha pumsam bhakti vairagyam eva. That's why anuratanam shishyanam putranam chidvijottama anaprishtamepi bhruyuhu guruvo dhinavachalaha. Vidura already glorified Maitreya Muni, guruvo dhinavachalaha. Okay, and here, and also Bharat Maharaja, Jada Bharata, he also mentions that one. Vina Mahatpada Radhobhishekam. Vina Mahatpada Radhobhishekam. Without the mercy of those devotees, one does not progress. He would not get the love of Godhead himself. He cannot be equal to all the living entities, and he cannot relish himself within without remembering the Lord and his relationship with the Lord with a love. Actually, it is love, bhakti. That fruit, ripened fruit, the bhakti, one cannot get without the mercy of a pure devotee of the Lord. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. We shall move to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. So today it is letter to Jai Pataka again, September 28, 1970, Surat. It's a small letter. Can you request any other unallocated devotees to read this letter, please?
Shall I read, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
My dear Judge Pataka Maharaj, please accept my blessings. I hope everything is going on with good prospect in Calcutta. I have decided to come there for the meeting with Mrs. Birla and Birla Academy on 6th January 1971. Our program here in Surat is very successful and we are terminating it for the time being when we depart from Bombay on 2nd of January. From Bombay, we are catching the one down via Nagpur Howrah Mail train, leaving on the third 6:45 p.m. and reaching Calcutta on 5th 8:20 8:25 a.m. So I will be glad to see you there if you can arrange a nice reception. We shall be coming either 2 men or 4. In the meantime, the rest of our party is going to Allahabad for establishing our Mahamela camp. Hope this will meet you in good health. Your ever well-wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Prabhuji. Any points, Prabhuji?
The small letter Prabhu and Srila Prabhupada is describing about his journey and how he has accomplished um, the accomplished his meeting in Surat, and it was successful. And Prabhupada is always eager to know how the Krishna consciousness is spreading all over the world. So he was asking Jayapataka Swami how the Calcutta program is going, and he's eager to meet people all over the country and all over the world, in fact, and spreading the Krishna consciousness. That's what my understanding. Very well.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Okay, any other comments, dear devotees? Okay, and one point here, Prabhupada is mentioning on the, if you can arrange a nice reception, okay, I'll be glad to see it. So again, here like Vidra is glorifying Maitreya Muni. Likewise, whenever we inspire the spiritual master, we can derive more benefits from him, getting the knowledge, getting association, his mercy. Okay, so Prabhupada is also giving such kind of tips to arrange. Glad to see there if you can arrange a nice reception. Sometimes when Guru Maharajas are going, so they will arrange very nice receptions there. Okay, so like that's one of the point to highlight from me. Okay, that is no purpose letter. And from the announcements point of view, so today evening we have got teachings of Lord Chaitanya at 8 p.m. Okay, that is our upcoming event, and also hope and all devotees are doing well. They have come back from different places again, going through different challenges as well. Hare Krishna, Devashish Prabhuji, hope everything is okay at your home.
Thank you, Prabhu. It's difficult, but it's going slowly, Prabhu. Very well.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Okay, any other updates, dear devotees, you wanted to share anything or any events? Okay, if there are no further updates, then we shall conclude and continue with further japa. पञ्चकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनन्तकोटिवैष्णववृन्द की जय, शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्ण कॉन्शियस डे एवरीवन।
Very well.
हरे कृष्ण। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु